Okay, so we've finally got a little bit of time to work on our own Audi R8. And the honest answer is the paintwork is shot. I don't even know how this looks that good outside, because honestly, under the light, this is one of the worst I've seen in a black car. The swirls, and they are wash marks that are created by the swirls, or vice versa, but they are heavy, and it's lost all its gloss, all its colour. It's pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. So what we're going to be doing on the R8 now, just to basically, because we haven't got a great deal of time on my own cars, that is the truth, and it's getting busier now because summer's coming and so on. I'm going to be PPFing the front end, so we're going to be doing the bonnet, which is absolutely huge. It's actually in two pieces, so we're going to have to seam here and here. Basically, you can't do it in one piece, it's just too big, the film isn't big enough. And then we've got the bumper, which is actually in one piece, but I'm going to try and do it in three, because I think it's just going to make life a little bit easier. And if I seam it correctly, you're not going to know anyway. But we've got the big panel at the side. I'm going to basically blend that panel into this panel. I'm going to try and do the small section at the front separate, and I'm going to basically split that into one piece again. So that's what we're going to be doing on there. As you know, we've already wrapped the roof in the forged carbon, the same as the mirrors, they're already done in forged carbon. Truth is, I don't like it. It's not the colour I expected when we ordered it. It's amazing film, it's really glossy. And people are booking in because they've seen it, so I'm going to leave it on for now because people want to see this and have this actually done on their car. It isn't for me, but the reason it's not for me is this car is covered in carbon fibre. So not many of the cars have this apparently, but the front sort of grills, as it were, where the vents are, they're carbon. Same on the rear. Obviously got the V10 Plus carbon spoiler. It's also got the two carbon fins, as I don't know what you call them, induction areas. And the side skirts have been upgraded on this, and it's got the carbon side skirts. So because of that, my OCD is kicking in a bit, and this doesn't match the rest. And I did think about wrapping this and wrapping this, but I'm not going to, because the real carbon, and then we'd end up wearing the spoiler and the other bits. It's not. So this is going to be left on anyway for now, maybe over summer, and then I'm going to be taking it off and going back to the gloss and PPF in the roof and the mirrors. So they're actually covered, but for now, what we're going to do, I know it takes similar sort of time, it's just I don't have to do as much prep, and I don't have to leave it and check it over. I'm literally going to spend the day machining this, so I'm only going to, it's not really going to be a paint revival, it's going to be a paint enhancement, but it's kind of an in-between, so it's not, if I were doing this for a client, this would have to be an enhancement or a correction. There's no way I would do anything less than that, because it just deserves more, and I wouldn't put my name to it. But what I'm going to do is basically just enhance all the car now. So we've got obviously the door, the pillars, the carbon, and then we're going to get some 9H on it. So that's going to take 3 days to do what we need to do anyway. What I am going to do, I think, is I'm going to PPF this and this, obviously on both sides. And that's just because I don't want to stone chip or someone to damage them. In the meantime, they're too expensive to replace. I don't want to have the hassle of replacing them. So I'm going to PPF those just so they're done. You know, it's worth doing it just for having no hassle, basically, just to get them done. So I'm going to do them now, I think, actually. And I'm going to get on with the rest of the car. I'm going to show you how the marks are in the paint at the minute, and then obviously we'll show you an after result as well.
Before letting me go, before letting me go, before letting me go.
clock, counting seconds till you're lost.
What I've done so far, I've done a little bit more than I said I was going to do, to be honest. Some of the panels were a lot easier to do, and the templates were a lot more straightforward than that I kind of thought they might have been. So just because I've just done it, I'm kind of a bit paranoid as well. But basically with PPF, the whole bonnet, now this is in two pieces. This actually seams here, and it's like falls. You can't tell it's seamed, but it is seamed, and it is because it's such a big area to do. I've still got the headlights to do, but I'm gonna have to try and sand these, I think, because there's a few stone chips in them that are gonna show. A bit like the splitter, the bottom of the bumper. There are a few little stone chips, and they were only tiny, but the PPF kind of makes them a bit more visible. So there's a few they look like air dots, but they are literally stone chips, and I've even caught one this weekend down at the racecourse. So the front bumper's completely done, new black badges are on. This is the only, what you'd call a wing, I suppose, because this is part of the bonnet. So I've done the wing itself, and then what I've done, just because I was a bit paranoid, a friend of mine said that he chipped his once, so I've PPF'd the carbon pillar and the carbon air duct, but I've also done this bottom piece because, to be totally honest, to do that we were kind of wasting that part of the film, so I've actually done the bottom panels as well. So effectively I've kind of done a track pack on this. The mirrors I haven't done, and the roof I haven't done because they've got the vinyl on, but effectively I've done a track pack when it comes to the actual PPF. What I'm basically on with now, and I've put it somewhere, I'm literally just putting on 2 coats of 9H. I'm not doing a full job on this, and 2 coats is probably still more than I should be doing, and more than it's kind of feasible because I'm wasting the product. But I'm putting 2 coats of the 9H on at the minute, just to harden up the paint, because it looks insane at the minute. This is the best this car's looked, and I've not even spent that long on it. But I'm going to be PPFing the whole car. That's the reality. I just don't have the time at the minute. We've got so much work in. I'm trying to do this in between the jobs that are coming in. So I'm trying to just cover myself against marks and scratches and enjoy the car and make it easy to wash, because the last few weeks I've had this car, I'm not going to lie, they've been difficult to wash. Every Saturday I've had to wash it because I've been out on the Sunday after, and it's just difficult because there's no protection on it whatsoever. It's holding the dirt, tar sticking to it, it just looks terrible, and I'm marking it when I'm washing it because everything is just sticking on. The weather's been that bad, and we've been at a drag strip twice now in 3 weeks, so the dirt and grime that's on the drag strips obviously is causing a lot of problems. So 2 coats of this are going on. Like I say, it's overkill because I'm going to be PPFing it, so I'm wasting it, but at least it's safe until now. This is then going to bake on the ovens, and then tomorrow I'm going to be putting the top coat on. I'm going to be putting the special flexible coat on the PPF sections. I'm going to be coating the glass, and then I'm going to, if I get time, I'm going to take the wheels off and I'm going to do the wheels in full. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to have time at the minute, but they need a proper clean. But that's the aim, is to get the wheels off and get the rest of that done. So here's a quick video of the 9H going on, getting under the bait lamps to make sure it's on properly so I can do the multiple layers, and then we'll see where we go from here. So the Audi's finished, and we're just going to be doing some work on the Mini now, in between a client dropping their Mini off for some work, because again it's been a bit of a dealership problem where the car's basically been, I don't know if it's a dealership actually, it might be the body shop, but basically we did a car again probably 2 months ago, and it was flawless, to be fair. But it's gone and had, I think it's had a bit of damage on the back. It's had a knock, from what I know. The body shop have repaired it, but they've kind of machined other areas of the car and ruined the paint. It's also taken the coating off, so the coating needs to be kind of reapplied. So what we're doing now, the R8 is literally going up on the stands. This is out the way now. It's pretty much finished. So we've PPF'd it with ceramic tape, PPF'd all the carbon, which looks absolutely insane now. It's gone really wet. Do you know what? The only thing we need to do now is basically, I need to take the wheels off this weekend, which I'm going to have to do in my own time, obviously. The wheels need to come off, have a really deep clean, and then have those ceramic coated inside and out. But I'm also going to reapply the graphics on the brake calipers because they fade a little bit. The calipers look fine, but to be fair, I'm probably going to machine polish the calipers, and then we're going to recoat those with Ceramic Pro again. But I'm going to reapply the graphics, so I'm going to get some details sorted out now, get those redone. And literally in the meantime, once this car's on the ramp, all I'm going to do now is we're going to be working on the Mini GP, and I'm going to show you why we need to be working on that. So in this box here, for all the way from Germany, is a new coil spring, and that's because this Mini is running on AP coilovers, which are obviously top-end coilovers. There's not particularly many brands are better than AP. Obviously it depends of, you know, how you want to vary them or what your opinion is, but they're pretty top-end AP coilovers. One of the coil springs on the front passenger wheel actually shattered. So we knew that when we bought the car, and the agreement was the seller was actually going to do the spring, but we wanted to get the car into us because I wanted to get a bit of work done. As you're kind of aware, some of the decals are missing, some are knackered. So Andy at CSM sorted those out. We're actually going to be reapplying all new decals to this to kind of revive it a little bit. And we're going to be adapting them slightly and putting some of our own kind of tweaks into the decals just to make it custom, really. But it's time to get the coilover on now, or the coilover off, the new coil spring fitted, and then we're probably going to have to get this realigned then to get it right, because this is going to be a bit of a track toy and it needs to be set up right. And to be fair, by moving that suspension, I know we're not moving the arms and so on, but it might knock it out slightly, so we're probably going to end up booking in with Bram and getting Brad to do some proper alignment on this before we do any actual track days. So that's it, that's pretty much the week out, guys. And the car coming on the way, like I said, that'll be on the new blog, and just keep an eye out for the short blogs that we're doing. And the guys who are managing the TikTok account now, which are the Barnsley College students, they're going to be doing their own little things. If you've got TikTok, do a search for Inspired Automotive on TikTok, and they're going to be doing some little short videos on there for you guys to see as well. It's come off really easy, in all fairness. All the struts come off. Actually came off a lot easier than I expected. I thought I weren't going to be able to do it because I am not mechanical minded at all. As you can see from the spring, it really has shattered itself and made a right mess. It looks like it is the right spring that they've sent, so it's just a case of getting it back put together, taking it outside now to get the spring off. I know it's not going to kind of rebound off, but as a precaution, I don't want to do it inside when there's cars, so I'm going to take that outside, and then I'm going to have to really clean up in here because I can't deal with mess, and it's an absolute bomb site in here, in all fairness. So it's getting it outside, get that off, get the strut back on, and then let's just see if it does need aligning and actually give the car a proper drive, because we haven't given it a run yet.